Welcome to Talking Cybersecurity with HMS Industrial Networks.
Hi, my name is Jason Block with HMS Industrial Networks. I am the Solution Manager for our Industrial Internet of Things products, and today we're going to discuss security perspectives, both from the perspective of IT personnel and OT personnel. So, if you're familiar with the terms IT and OT, IT standing for information technology and OT standing for operational technology, they were responsible for different elements within a manufacturing or a factory environment. And today we're going to talk and focus more on the people who are responsible for those roles. So when we think of IT, we think of network administrators, we think of the folks who handle the software aspects of it, the data acquisition, manufacturing, execution systems, these type of things. From the OT perspective, we're going to focus on controls folks, controls engineers, operational managers, these type of things. They're their focus. So those are kind of the different roles that you see in there, and they both have different views and perspectives when we talk about security. So the first thing I want to do is kind of talk about how they kind of view it from their perspective. IT tends to be very much data focused. So security in terms of their perspective is often around the security of the data that they have, which counts as the intellectual property within a factory or within a manufacturing organization. Where OT focuses more on the machines and the manufacturing processes that are part of it. In their perspective, that's their IP that they have there. So that's what they tend to focus on that area. So there are different concerns that come up with each of those areas. So if we think of IT, typically they're focused on things like trust. So making sure that people who are authorized to see data or authorized to use the tools that they support, that it provides access to data, they want to make sure that those are trusted personnel. If there are concerns, if there are security breaches, these type of things, they're concerned about how do they mitigate those risks, either to correct safeguards against those risks, or in the event of something happening, how do they limit the damage that's associated there. Visibility is also important to those folks as well. So thinking from the terms of basically understanding the networks, who's connecting to their networks, and understanding what types of networks are running in their environments are very important. And then availability is important as well. The key thing to securing data is also to make sure that that data is available to those that actually need it. So those are kind of concerns that come from the IT perspective. If we look at the OT side of it, they tend to think of more terms, things that kind of the primary concern is around safety. We think of trust, who are the authorized people who can work with the data. From the OT perspective, safety, you want to make sure that you have the right people who are trained in the right way so that they can safely interact with machinery or manufacturing process and environment. They're focused on productivity, so maximizing the impact that the equipment has in those facilities there. So if something happens to that equipment, how do they mitigate any challenges that they have that would create downtime in those situations? And availability is critical as well. In order to ensure that machines are productive, it's critical that they are available. So once again, limited downtime, high degree of availability. Thinking of things like OEE, overall equipment effectiveness. These are things that they think about. And also visibility, understanding what's happening in their machinery, what's happening in their networks. These are also key things that are important as well. So if we actually look at these concerns that are here, there's actually a significant amount of alignment between the two. So one of our key recommendations, and we'll talk through this a little bit and what the justification behind it is, that there needs to be increasing collaboration between IT and OT in the tests that they're doing. And one of the key things is around data that's coming from the OT environment. So one of the things that's become increasingly important is that now organizations want to see the data that runs on their machines. So now there's this need for IT to not be focused just on people and the data applications that they're concerned with, but now there's more concern with basically what they're getting from the machines and how they interact with those. So collaboration is needed, both from both ends, because both bring value to it. From the OT perspective, their perspective is how can I help IT teams interact safely with the equipment, interact safely with the networks that are running on the equipment in factories. And from the IT perspective, in terms of data handling for the OT side, what are the best practices in terms of data handling from that? So once again, kind of the core recommendation on this is that there needs to be increasing collaboration between these two parties there. So that's what we want to talk about today. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful day.